All right, approximately 1:30 today, deputies responded here on Broad River Road to a report of a domestic disturbance, to an assault that occurred. Upon arrival, deputies made contact with a female victim, talked to the female victim. It was apparent that there was some sort of injuries that she had sustained during an altercation with a male suspect. At that point, deputies believed that the suspect was still in the area. They started patrolling the community behind me here. As they patrolled the community, they made contact with the suspect. At that point, the suspect fled. As he fled, he fired multiple rounds at the deputies, continued to flee. Deputies continued to chase the suspect. You have multiple deputies at this point in time. At a second interchange believed to be Whiteford Road, the suspect again fired at the deputies and then fled into the apartment complex, the Farrington. As he fled into the apartment complex, the Farrington, he fled into an apartment. He went in the front of the apartment. As he came out of the back of the apartment, he fired several rounds. He fired one of those rounds, hit one of our female deputies in the chest, striking her vest. Vest saved her life. At that point in time, deputies returned fire, stopping the suspect and striking him there in the Farrington apartments where he is at this point. I was told that she was assaulted somewhere other than the incident location where we initially responded. We responded, there was some sort of visible signs of injury. I believe she's actually been transported to the hospital. At that point, the deputies believed the suspect was still in the area, began patrolling and looking for him, and actually located him just a short distance away from there where they initially responded. Female deputy was struck in the chest. Her vest actually stopped the round. That vest actually saved her life. She is, as would be in the understanding that she's gone through a traumatic experience, but she is at the hospital being looked at, but thankfully she's alive.
Can you identify her yet?
We'll do that as soon as her family's been notified.
What do you know about the suspect?
The only thing I know is that the suspect was involved in a domestic disturbance. I have his information, but we're still trying to make sure that families have been notified in that case as well.
How old is he?
I believe he's 24.
Is he alive?
24-year-old white male is deceased at the scene. I'm told that he entered the front of the apartment. As he left the rear of the apartment, he immediately started firing at the deputies, striking the deputy in the chest.
Were any of the vehicles hit?
There were several of our patrol vehicles hit. I believe there were also some victims in the community's vehicles and houses that were hit as well.
How many gunshots? Do you have any ballpark?
I don't have any indication of that at this point.
But he's fired 3 separate times at the deputies.
We have 3 separate incident locations where he fired at deputies, that is correct. And actually there were police officers from the City Police Department, the South Carolina Law Enforcement Division, and the Lexington County Sheriff's Department that were involved in the actual search for him after the initial exchange of fire when he actually fired at the deputies.
Were there bystanders close by?
There were people in the community. There were people in their homes. There were people in these businesses, people at the library, near close to where he fired several rounds, yes. Again, approximately 1:30, 1:45 is when it started. I believe it ended about 2:45, but again, this is all preliminary. I'm going based on just initial information that I received. So approximately an hour time frame between when we actually took the initial report to when the exchange occurred there in the Farrington apartments.
Was the suspect a resident of the apartments, or was this some kind of an invasion?
We don't know whether or not I don't believe he had any relationship to anybody in the apartment, but whether he broke in or not, I don't know that. We're still interviewing people that are in the apartment, that are in the surrounding apartment, in the community. I don't know the answer to that at this point.
So there were people